This is Natasha, aka Natty Willie, and welcome to another episode of TVTalk with Natasha and Kim. Say hello, Kim.
Hello.
Hello. Alright. And we have a guest with us. It's our good friend Antonio. Say hello, Antonio.
Hi guys, what's going on?
Alright, and so we are going to finally talk about, I've been asking this for weeks now, we're going to finally talk about Teen Wolf. Kim and I and Antonio watched this show, and I am so glad that they are doing like a mini season, like twice in like one, you know, big season. Like they did it in the summer, and now they're doing it in the winter instead of waiting to the summer again, and I'm just happy. So let's get to it. Kim, what's going on with the 3 episodes?
My gosh, like I just realized, wait a second. What I forgot, I like almost forgot that there's like this is the second half of the show. And so I completely forgot what happened in the first half. But anyway, the pilot not the pilot episode, but of the winter finale, winter premiere, whatever like that.
Winter premiere.
We see what happens to or the result of going under, kind of like dying to kind of help their parents, and we see what happens to Styles and Scott and Allison because of what they did, and it is creepy. And I have to tell you that I think Styles has it the worst because I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that life. You know, Allison's is creepy too. She sees her dead aunt. Whoops! Oh, sorry guys. Spoilers. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, we did spoil the crap out of. Yeah. Our show is about spoilers. So I mean, if you haven't figured that out, then I'm sorry.
You know, in the trailer, they kind of say that Allison's being haunted by her dead aunt. So I mean, if you don't know, then
yeah, it's your fault. But yeah, so Allison's kind of being haunted, which is kind of creepy because I have a problem with ghosts too. So that would completely freak me out. But Styles, man, he doesn't even know if he's dreaming or he's awake. He can't read. It's really creepy. And then you've got Scott, who can't control his like shifting without causing himself physical pain to snap him out of it. So it's really, really kind of creepy. And they just kind of go over that, and you see what's happening with them and the result of what they did in that first episode. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I thought it was probably one of the creepier episodes of Teen Wolf.
I thought so. I mean, you have Horse Styles from the beginning of the episode. You figure out he keeps on dreaming, and that last dream, like right before he woke up, I thought that was the last dream. And I'm sorry, that would have freaked me out too. I'm sorry. I would have been waking up screaming myself, and my dad would have had to come in the room if he was around. And try and comfort me or whatever, because that was just a hot mess. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I think he has it. I do really think he has the worst. The whole dreaming thing and not knowing. It was just like I couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't. I couldn't.
Yeah, oh, it's creepy. It's so creepy. It's so incredibly creepy. And I don't know. Okay, I know that there's a lot of people out there that aren't going to agree with me, but I don't like Isaac, and I don't know why. He bothers me, and like every time I see him, he bothers me, and I like when Scott throws him across like the room into the wall. Like that's my favorite part of the episode because he's so like I feel like he's so like nonchalant about everything, and he's so laid back, and I'm like, Isaac. I don't know. I don't know. And just him and Allison, like, because they're obviously pushing for him and Allison to be together. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Of course, I think it's a horrible idea, but I don't like Isaac, so I'm biased.
I mean, they broke up at the end of the second season, if I recall correctly. And so Scott's been kind of single, Allison's been kind of single, but then she immediately gets attracted to, for whatever reasons, Isaac, who wasn't even on her radar at first. So I'm wondering what the heck happen with that. Although they do seem to have some kind of a chemistry, I mean, I guess. Yeah. And then Scott has a little bit of a chemistry with Kira, the new character that gets introduced in the first episode of season 3B.
Yeah, I find it kind of weird that they're pushing for Allison and Isaac. I really didn't see that coming, like, at all. I don't think it's really gonna work out in the long run, though. But we'll see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, this is not about that. So if you're going to talk about the relationship, you should probably go first, because I'm trying to get off topic again.
Well, no, I mean, it's, again, like Antonio said, it's not going to last long. I mean, Scott and Allison are in game, so eventually they're going to get back together. I'm not worried about that. But I think in the interim, maybe Isaac's okay, I guess. Maybe if they had introduced a totally new character so Isaac wasn't as conflicted with trying to betray Scott with liking Allison and Scott maybe not being okay with it, like, you know, the bros before hoes kind of rule. Like, I don't know. So, yeah.
What I noticed was I feel like whatever they did, I'm going to start the hashtag close the door, because that's what they need to do. I guess in their mind they've opened some sort of door, but I feel like this door has taken everything, the things that they value the most about themselves. For example, Styles is really smart. He's good at figuring things out, and so it took his ability to read and kind of know whether he's conscious or he's not, and you see that kind of throws him off. And then you've got Scott, who's always in control. Like, he's like your typical, like, leader. He's always level-headed and in control, and they've taken that from him because he can't control his shifting. And then you've got Allison, who she's just a fighter. She's got kind of a one-track mind, and she prides herself on being a hunter, but she's losing time. She's blacking out, and she can't keep her hand still to shoot her arrow and whatnot. So I think it's kind of interesting that those are the things that this decided to take from them. And I don't know if it has any symbolism or if I'm just going way out there, reaching way out there, but that's what I did notice about that.
I actually noticed it too. What did you think, Antonio?
Yeah, I just like what Kimberly said. I mean, I think you're spot on, Kimberly, honestly. I really think
pretty much. Yeah. And I also think I like the fact that they're actually addressing, to a degree, the death of Allison's aunt, because she never really got a chance to either really grieve or we never really saw her go through that process. I mean, you kind of saw her go through that process with her mom, but not so much her aunt, and that was pretty much the first death that she witnessed, and it was a murder. So, I mean, in a way, this is her trying to deal with that, even if it's an unconscious thing. And it's in response to what she experienced in the last season.
Very good point. I kind of feel sorry for Kira, because why would you do that to her, Dad? Like, why? He's like, he goes out of his way to embarrass her, but he thinks he's like doing her a kindness, and it's not. Anybody can see that it's not. You're completely embarrassing her, and I felt so bad for her when he was like, yes, and she doesn't have any friends and yada 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 and wants to be noticed in school. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like covering my eyes for her. It was so awful. But it made me like her character right away. And I was like, yay, our Japanese brothers and sisters are being represented. I don't even know she's Japanese. I just know in the show she's supposed to be, but I really like that. And when they talked about, and I'm jumping ahead to the third episode, but when they talked about her mother's history, see, I hope they tie in some Japanese history into that. That would be really interesting, maybe some mythology. So I'm really interested in seeing where that's going. But I'm jumping ahead. And I have so many questions, and I'm hoping you guys can answer them. Just because I don't get some things when I'm watching it, like She-Wolf. Who is the She-Wolf? Who are they talking about? Is it his mother? Is Derek's mother? Is that who the She-Wolf is? Or
I would assume that is her. I mean, she's the only person or wolf-wise early second shapeshift fully into a wolf. So I think they're talking about her, but I may be wrong because those guys that were holding Peter and Derek, it was just like, why are you holding them? Who, huh? Like, and is it really going to tie in later on with what's going on with Scott, Allison, and Styles?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that too. Like, how is that going to tie in? My other question actually was, where is Derek's sister? Like, where did she go? You know?
You know what? I thought that Scott saw her, or was that the were-coyote?
That was the coyote.
Okay.
Which shouldn't exist. I mean, like, a were-coyote, like, I would feel like I got ripped off, do you know what I mean? Like, I would have been like, I got the short end of the shape-shifting stick, because a coyote is not as cool. I mean, coyotes sometimes are mistaken for dogs. Like, I would be so mad. And you'd be so mad. I would be.
In season 2, Derek did say there are other shapeshifters out there besides werewolves. So.
Yeah, but I still would think I got the short end of the stick. I would have been like, a coyote! Ah! Just like that. And where is the counselor? Where is the counselor? I mean, because it wasn't the same girl who went in and saved Derek. And that was the other girl that was on the motorcycle, I think.
Yeah,
unless they switched girls.
No, I think it was the same girl. We just automatically assumed that Deucalion killed her, and he didn't.
Wait, when you say it's the same girl, you think it's because it wasn't the same actress.
Yeah, it was. It was the same actress that rescued Isaac in the first episode.
Right, but that was a different girl. That wasn't a counselor. That wasn't that vet's sister.
No.
Oh, yeah. No. I don't know where she is.
Where? I'm like, how could she just disappear?
Yeah, Deaton and Miss Morale, they're not around yet. I'm pretty sure she'll come back, because, you know, she did get stabbed by Deucalion with the little, his staff kind of thing, his walking stick.
Huh, that's right. I forgot about that. But still, like, you just can't disappear like that. I mean, obviously time has gone by because Derek and his uncle found themselves chained. You know, I mean, how did that happen? You know, so, and why was everybody there speaking Spanish? And how did they know about them? I don't know. There's so many questions, so little time. And why did they have something that belonged to his mother? Obviously, so many questions. But I don't know.
Yeah,
what did you think about those two episodes? Kind of bridged into each other because of the story about the were-coyote. I don't know. What did you think about that? I know I wanted to slap the father upside the head. You're going to go out and lay a bunch of traps in a woods where people walk, especially children.
Thank you. And poor Isaac, I know you don't like him, but I did not want him to get hurt like that either, trying to go after the coyote, the were-coyote. Not only that, my girl Lydia almost got, her leg almost got caught in that, but Styles figured out how to, unlock it in time for her to, get out of it. And there were some Lydia style moments, although she's still hooked up with one of the twins. I get them confused all the time.
Yeah, and so how do you guys feel about the twins now? Because they want Scott to be their alpha because they were betas, which I cannot imagine them being betas as big as because they can morph into one of this big creature. So why would they be like the runts? That's so interesting. I guess they didn't know how to control it before, but it's funny that he doesn't want to lead them, but he wants their help. I'm like, come on, Scott, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well, I mean, let's face it, they were pretty much the bad guys throughout the first half of season 3, like season 3A. So that trust is not going to come overnight.
And plus, they still had a hand in killing Boyd, unfortunately.
Yeah, they did. I'm still bitter about that.
I completely forgot about that. I must have blocked it out.
Because it was so traumatic.
I was a little irritated about that. A little irritated. So, yeah, I guess. Okay, forget that. See how quickly I turn like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So this last episode that just happened on Monday. Awesome. I mean, come on. Was it not awesome?
And you can't go wrong with Doug Jones when he guest stars on a show. You can't go wrong.
So, Nerd Shame, I have no idea who that is. Everybody kept posting about him, and I'm like, I don't know. I've never seen this guy before.
Cheesy.
Cheese.
Cheese. Fallen Skies.
Abe Sapien, Hellboy, the Angel.
Well, I mean, okay, so, I mean...
He was in Hellboy.
I think I've seen parts of Hellboy.
He was the Fawn in Pan's Labyrinth.
I've never seen that.
Oh, gosh. All right.
You can't tell it's him, though, as Coach Easy. Like, you can't... Come on. He plays creepy well, though. I tell you that. I was creeped out about him. I didn't know how he was moving. I mean, it takes a certain kind of person to give themselves staples to staple up their insides that are like hanging out. I mean, that takes some gall. Woo! He's a strong individual. I was squealing, like, on the couch. I was like, oh, it hurts. Like that. When he was doing it, but yeah, he plays crazy well. So, about the twist, guys, did you see that coming at all, or?
I knew something was up with Kira. Go ahead.
I actually didn't. I knew something was up, but I didn't expect anything like that. I actually kind of spoiled it for myself because it was played on the East Coast. And I went to the Tumblr page and I saw her and all the lightning. I was like, oh, wait, spoiler. So I had to exit out of that tab.
No, you don't go online. You can't go online with it because these East Coasters, I tell you, these East Coasters.
You gotta love us East Coasters. We like to spoil things ahead of time because we see it first.
Gotta stay off of Twitter. Gotta stay off of, like, you just have to stay off of, like, and you know what? It's awful for me. It's because Mondays are a big nights. I tape so many things that I can't tape Teen Wolf until 11:30 at night, which means on Mondays I don't go to bed until like 1 because I have to watch it. I think about it for a second, saying I'll just watch it in the morning, but then I'm like, no, I have to watch it. I have to. And so I don't know. I didn't see it coming either. You guys are better than I am. If you thought something was off about her, I didn't think anything was off about her. I think she just wanted a friend, and then all of a sudden, lightning. And I was like, stop!
They usually don't introduce a new character.
I know, really?
We've learned that from the new teacher.
That's how I figured out who it was. Like, that's why I knew right away that she was the bad person, because, like, why would they introduce a new character? So I, like, fell into my own trap. I'm sorry, you're right. Slap me. Virtual slap. But I don't know. I didn't think she was going to be, like, super powerful, and I'm like, glowing eyes. I'm like, you've got it wrong. You're going after werewolves, and then she does that, and I'm like, her eyes are I mean, that's not glowing eyes. That is like, a supernova. That's glowing does not describe what happened to her eyes at that moment. That was crazy.
But I want to know how Doug Jones's character knew, or like there was something up with her when nobody else did.
True. Well, apparently he must have seen her at some point. Her eyes glow. He was saying that he kept on seeing. Maybe it was a process of elimination. I don't know.
Wait, where was he from? Where did that bus incident happen? Because didn't they move? Didn't they just move? Maybe she was on that bus or something, that original bus.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. When did she get into town? Because I think she had just arrived because her dad's one of the new teachers, because he's, I guess, replacing Miss Blake, So I'm not sure how he actually knew. I thought maybe she was just a bait for the werewolves, but I don't know anything.
That job is not secure. I wouldn't take it. I mean, the last two teachers fit it, so that should
like
be
the last 4 teachers.
Yeah,
because 4 teachers went missing, and a lot of them got killed last season. Like, Miss Haley was, woo, Lord have mercy. She was a humdinger.
It's like the Defense Against the Dark Arts position in Harry Potter. Teachers don't last long.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
It is. It is.
It's the truth. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see. I mean, I wish it was Monday now because I'm really excited to like. I want to know what she is. I want to know more about her history. I want to know if they're going to be honest with her from the beginning and tell her what they are, just because hey, she showed you first. Granted, she had to, so she didn't like die. Or you didn't die, but still, like, don't make her think she's weird, you know? Be like, oh, no, it's completely normal that you're abnormal because we're all abnormal. That didn't make any sense right there, but you know what I mean.
And what was up? I don't know what her dad was thinking, but apparently sushi can be a turn-on. I don't know, because it seemed a little bit of sexual tension between her and Scott when she was trying to feed him the sushi, and her mom was looking at the dad like, really? You chose sushi?
And then he ate wasabi.
And yeah.
And it was all over. It was all over. Yeah, and I've done that before. I put too much wasabi in my mouth. It's not fun. If he put the whole thing in there thinking it was guacamole, that was awesome.
Oh, and then the shadow guys, they finally came into play.
Yeah, what is up with the shadow guys? I mean, you're gonna use lightning bugs at first. How creepy is that? I love lightning bugs, and you're trying to creep me out with them. Why?
I didn't understand that, and so I chose to block it out of my mind because it was really disturbing to me. But I like, because until right now, I completely forgot about it. And then when he said shadow guys, it was like a flashback. You know, like if you're flashing back to a place in your life, I see them like form in front of the tree, and I'm like horrified all over again. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. Thank you, Antonio.
Sorry.
I'm just playing around. Yeah, that was really creepy. You know what was creepy and gross were the flies in that guy's stomach. Why was that necessary?
I don't know. Like, is he actually still alive, bro? That's the question. We don't know if he's actually dead.
I don't know. He's obviously not normal because that is not normal. You don't just like have flies in your stomach that burst and fly out and then you get up and walk away. Oh, by the way, you grab a stapler and staple your like half of your chest together because it was like flapping open. That's not normal. So he's not normal.
Well, maybe it was one of the shadow people and he's like a reflection of them or something, because otherwise why would the flies be even in him? Because it kind of flew around the Nematon, and then like the shadow people kind of formed from the flies / lightning bugs. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any background information on that, do we? Like,
not much, no.
That was the first time we've seen that, or did I miss it in an episode?
Well, the lightning bugs kind of came into play a little bit just because they were rare in their area, like earlier in the season.
Oh,
but other than that, like, no.
You guys have good memories.
I really like this show. I have to know everything. There's too many possibilities of what can happen. Too many.
So what, Antonio, you're kind of like into the whole makeup part of the process, as far as, you know, the werewolf makeup, just, you know, the supernatural elements of makeup. So what did you, I don't think there were too many in the last episode, but in previous episodes, like, how did you like the makeup?
I really like the Teen Wolf makeups. They're more Wolfmanish and a little more subtle, so I kind of like that aspect more. My favorite one was the one for Ennis, though, because his just looked really, really cool. And as an alpha, I just think that his was like the best.
Yeah, it was. I like too that it's kind of like, it kind of just blends in with like the face, like it's more of a like mannish thing, except for Deucalion, which was completely horrifying. Even when he was that scene where he was changing, where he was saying, and this is going back, I know, but where he's saying, should we show them why you felt the need to kill its wolf. Like, when he was turning at that moment, I was, like, inching down on my couch, like, covering the blanket. It was pretty, like, creepy, just that transformation. And then he didn't look any human-like, but, I mean, I thought that transformation, that job that they did was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was the creepiest of the alphas because of how he kept on becoming more powerful as an alpha by killing the other wolves.
Well,
I
guys,
was so really mad that he killed Ennis, though. Ennis was my favorite.
I know. What I don't. Okay, so what I don't understand is, like, you've got Derek's mom, who can change completely into a wolf, but his sister could too because she was buried like that. And then you've got his uncle, who is not a wolf, but he changed into like a wolf on 2 legs or something. It was something different. It wasn't like something on all 4. So what?
I think the twins touch on about that when they were trying to get Scott to control his transformation. If you, I guess, let him get 2 in, you'll become Peter, well, essentially.
So I mean, it's like, okay, so you can either turn into what Scott typically turns into, but obviously there's some out there that can turn into actual wolves, and then you got the rage thing going on where you turn into Peter, and then every once in a while you could turn into like a lizard. I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of interesting, like all the different aspects of it. It's weird. Did I say lizard, chimera, whatever he was? I mean, Canema, whatever. A lizard. But I'm like, it's just I don't know. It's kind of interesting because they're like little sub levels, and I don't know. I find that cool. But I'm a geek, so whatever.
Well, I mean, I always like the fact that they finally explain like why the eye color is different. I did think they did a good job of explaining that in the last season.
Yeah, that was. As soon as they did that in season 2, we had to wait like a whole year to like.
Yes.
What do eyes mean?
Yes.
It was awful. It was the longest wait ever.
And then, of course, Colton Haynes left. But at least we see him on Arrow, and he's starting to get a little bit more of a role on that. But this is about Teen Wolf. So,
you guys hear Isaac scream? That's the one time he made me laugh when he got electrocuted by trying to climb into you heard Allison look up because I guess he was trying to crawl into the house, and then you hear zit and you hear ah.
Oh, yeah!
Then he comes in, and I'm like, he's like electric fence or something. And I was like, no, I don't hate Isaac. I like him. I do. I just.
It was so hilarious. They were literally about to make out when J.R. Bourne, who plays Daddy Argent, came into the room and was like, "Are you serious?" That was even a worse awkward moment. That was probably the most awkward moment of that episode.
Oh, and then he says, "Another werewolf?"
Yes!
Wait a minute. I just remembered. What was attacking him? Was it the shadow thing?
That was the shadow guys. At the end, it was the shadow guys that were attacking Isaac.
Oh, at the end of the episode!
Yeah!
They left you hanging on that one.
Wow. See, this just got complex. Now I want to know. Like, there's usually, like, I want to know one thing, I need to answer to something, and they drag it out. Now I need to answer to multiple things, and I can't take it. It needs to be Monday.
Get more questions.
I know, right? I'm gonna have to. Oh, as long as I get one of them answered before it, like, finales. So if I have to wait a whole another year, I'm gonna lose it. Like, I need to know. I need to get one of the answers. Give me one of the answers. How did that guy sneak up on Scott? He's supposed to be a werewolf.
For real.
I think he was more focused on that girl in danger.
Don't make excuses.
Scott got blindsided by him twice. First time was with the crowbar, and then he got hit with the shock thing. That was just hilarious.
Okay, except for Peter when he was an alpha. What is up with the alphas like being really sucky at fighting? Like, Derek seems to always lose fights, and now Scott just seems to get beat up a lot, and it needs to stop.
Deucalion didn't.
I'm saying, other than Peter and Deucalion,
that girl with the nails didn't.
We're talking about the main characters.
But really, it's just two people. I don't know. Well, Scott has an excuse. He doesn't know. Look, the man's he's been an alpha all of like 4 days. I don't. He just
official. He's been by instinct like since the second season, and now he's like official, and now it's like he's learning things all over again.
I think it's also because of the thing at the door being open. I still don't think he has complete control of all of his werewolf traits. So
we need to start that hashtag. Close the door.
We will.
Close the door, Scott. Close the door, Styles. Close the door, Allison. We need to, man. And the whole Banshee thing, I don't know how I feel about that yet. I keep going back and forth. Like, I like the fact on the first episode where she's like, you guys are all going crazy, and Styles was like, stop enjoying this so much, because she was enjoying it, and it was funny that she was enjoying it, that they were kind of going crazy, and she was not like the crazy one for once. And I like the character, I like the actress that plays Lydia, so I like Lydia in turn, but I don't know how I feel about the Banshee. Like, she can sense death, which I guess comes in handy, but that's like an awful power to have, you know? Like,
yeah, I wouldn't want to have it.
I hope they like explore it more in this season, because they only touched on it really slightly in the first half of the season.
Yeah, and then of course she's got that powerful scream, which is kind of cool.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to have the scream part. I'm like, if I'm a Banshee, can I just get rid of the screaming part, because I don't like screaming.
No,
I would get hoarse.
You would just walk down the street and randomly be like, ah, like right in front of people and watch them like jump. It would be hilarious. It would be so awesome.
But then they may be related to death. That wouldn't be cool.
Well, you would be able to feel it. That's the thing. That's what would be awful. Like when she says, I feel like I'm standing in a graveyard. That's so sad. Like, that's sad. So that part, not so cool. I don't know anything about Banshees. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to research Banshees tonight. And the next episode that we have of this, I'm going to talk about Banshees for like 10 minutes. I'm telling you right now.
Oh yeah, there's also the thing of Scott's dad.
Oh, yeah, and them trying to steal Sheriff Stilinski's job or trying to fire him. Poor Sheriff Stilinski. I mean, he just found out literally that maybe a lot of the cases that he worked on could have been supernatural related, and because he was stuck in reality, he could get fired. And now, as far as what happened with the Were-Coyote case, I mean, that's pretty much what happened. One of the cases was supernatural related because one of the victims supposedly was turned into a coyote and pretty much probably attacked her mom and her sister and regrets it, and so regressed and was missing for 8 years.
You know, I wonder if they're actually going to reintroduce her into the fold, because that's really, really important, especially with the whole full moon and everything. I'm pretty sure they're going to have to do something with her.
True. I mean, because, her dad took her back, but what's going to happen on the next full moon? I mean, something's going to happen to the dad. Maybe Scott will monitor her in the background, kind of like as an afterthought. I don't know, and we just won't see it. But they're going to have to introduce it again anyway, just because, is that like family related? Did she at one point get bitten? Like, how did that really occur? Where was the wife and the kids really going? I'm just saying, who had that ability and was trying to hide it? I'm thinking Mama, and it was too late.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I would assume, I don't know, I mean, if I had a child that I thought was gone for a lot of years and they just appeared, the first question I would ask is what happened. So I'm assuming that she told her, oh, by the way, I turned into a coyote. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming that it came up in discussion, but I would like to see how it was addressed, because it's going to be an issue. It'll be, now I'm like wondering if they are going to address it, or they're just never going to come back to it. Then it's going to be awkward.
Unless they address it next season, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. They can always come back to it. So, but I'm really wanting to know more about like the whole process of what happened with Derek and how he went, because he said he needed to talk to his mom. Like, what was that? What with the nails and the, what was that?
Well, they kind of touched on that earlier in season 3 with them trying to, get the memories back, and maybe that's kind of a part of it. So
maybe like within his mom's nails, there's like a remnant of her like spirit or soul or whatever. But all I know is like when Peter asked, "Did she say anything about me?" and Derek just gave him that like look, it was like, what did she tell him? We need to know.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
No, I mean, did they ever say that she was really gone? Like, do we even know that she's not out there somewhere? I mean,
it seems to be kind of implied that she's dead, and I have a feeling that Peter killed her. Because how the heck did he become Alpha? Just saying.
I don't like Peter.
I like the actor. I like the actor. Yeah, Ian Bowen. He's great as Peter, and you just love to hate him.
So I want to go back to the twins. So have they lost their ability to combine together because they're not alphas anymore?
I have a feeling that is it, because what was the villain called?
The Durat.
Ducalion?
Yes, thank you. The Durak took that ability away from them. Like the reason why they're betas is because she took the alpha part of their abilities away. So I have a feeling that that's part of it.
Well, yeah, I think they learned to do that. No, you know what? No, because they had mentioned before, because Scott said, how could you have been betas and not alphas when you could do something like that? And he was like, we didn't know how to control it.
Oh yeah, now I remember. You're right.
Well, maybe they can't control it anymore. That's probably why they haven't done it, maybe. Maybe
they could only control it by being alphas.
Well, we haven't seen them. There hasn't been a need for them to do it. So it's funny when they were arguing about going back to high school, and he's like, I'm not taking math.
Yeah, and only because he saw Danny make out with someone.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
And that was another awkward moment.
I'll take math for you.
No, well, when they were sniffing around for Doug Jones's character, and then he just walked in on Danny making out with this guy.
And all he said was, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he took that well.
Yeah. Especially since he is going back to school pretty much for him.
Oh, it's creepy. Why could Lydia hear flies? Ugh! Oh, God, that power is creepy. I take it back. I don't want any parts of it. I don't want any parts of it whatsoever. Well, I think these first 3 episodes, new episodes, have been really cool. I like Teen Wolf, though. I mean, I think the first season might have been a little slow in the beginning, but for the most part, this series has kept me enthralled, per se. So I still am. I have many questions. I want to know what Kira is. So maybe like for our wrap up, that's what we'll talk about. What are your guesses about what Kira is?
I mean, other than what is it, a conductor? Electricity? Like I don't know. I don't know what she is. I don't know what that's even called. Someone that's able to absorb electricity or even like produce electricity. I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm gonna have to like research this now, like, oh, what is she and all that. But I think so far the season's been pretty good. I think I've heard that the season 4 is gonna be 12 episodes, and then season 5 is gonna be 24 again. But I don't know if they're getting picked up for season 5.
Well, they better. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they better. Don't knock that. Everybody knock on wood right now. But I'm totally going to have to cross-reference Japanese folklore with electricity and try to find out something because her mom wouldn't have mentioned her heritage if it wasn't important, so it's got to be important. I'm wondering if she has anything to do with the Shadow People or if that's something completely different. So I'm excited to find out. I probably won't find out for another 7 episodes, but whatever. It's going to be a great ride anyway. Well, that concludes our episode of TV Talk with Natasha and Kim, the Teen Wolf episode. Thank you, Antonio, so much for joining us. This is so awesome. Real quick, will you tell I don't know, do you have like Twitter or anything that you want to tell the people about? They can reach you at Facebook? Whatever you want.
You can reach me at Facebook just under my name, Antonio Jones. I post a lot of werewolf stuff, so just look for that. And Twitter, it's Antonio D Jones 123. So just follow me there on Twitter.
Right, and he does some vlog for us too. I got to post another one. I know I'm behind. So you will see him on our channel as well. Okay, Natasha, go ahead and let the people know where to find you.
Well, you can, of course, find me on Twitter at WillCat12, Natty Willie. Yeah, I'll post on as at the Nerd Element from time to time, live tweet shows, East Coast representing,
She's being modest, everybody. She tweets all the time at the Nerd Element. She does a lot of live shows. She's responsible for getting most of our followers. She does a great job with that. And there's me at Anime23 or sometimes at the Nerd Element. I don't do nearly as good a job as Natasha does, but we do sign our tweets. I am KW, she is NW. And as always, you can find us on Facebook at the Nerd Element. So thank you, Antonio, again. And everybody, we will see you next week. For a follow-up on the following and Grim, of course. All right.
Bye,
everybody.
Bye.